Spoiler alert, today I will present a 2020 American fantasy film called Upside Down Magic. The movie starts off with Nori discovering her magical ability while she watches a cat. Suddenly, whiskers appear on her cheeks and she also succeeds in turning into that very same cat. Her father is quite shocked when he learns that his daughter can also grow wings while in her cat form. 6 years later, she reveals that she is attending Sage Academy, a place where young magicians like her are trained to control their powers. In the meantime, Nori's best friend, Reina Carvajal, also possesses a superpower, which is the ability to control fire. It appears that Nori is having trouble controlling her talent. She manages to transform into a cat, but with a beaver's tail and a kangaroo's body. To make a long story short, the girls and the other students gather by the side of the road. They are then welcomed by Scriff, who explains that the academy is located in the woods. While walking, Nori tries to talk to a student, but there does not seem to be a problem. The group finally reaches a portal. Nori and Reina enter and are very impressed by the Sage Academy environment, where students are free to express their powers. Ms. Nightslinger, the headmistress of the academy, offers them a very warm welcome, explaining that they will be trained to develop their magic following the Sage path. She then explains that Sage will sort the students into 5 distinct groups based on their talents, specifically the Fuses, who communicate with animals, the Flickers, who can pull objects toward themselves, the Flares, who control fire, the Flyers, who can fly, and the Fluxers, who possess the power to transform into any animal whenever they wish. However, she adds that the students must pass a test to determine which of them will reach the highest level, the necessary level to join the higher level classes. The candidate Flares is asked to light a candle from a distance away. All the students pass the test without issue until a boy, Elliot Cohen, makes smoke instead of fire. It is finally Reina's turn and the evaluators are impressed. Next, the Flyers are asked to fly low to the ground and maintain that position for 30 seconds. This time, Andres, instead of flying low, flies to the ceiling and is unable to come down until Scree flees with ladders. The Flickers candidates must pull a vase toward them. However, Paloma's power lets her push objects instead of pulling them, nearly hitting the evaluators. Moving on to the Fuses, the candidates must correctly guess the dog's name, its favorite food, and so on. Finally, the Fluxers are required to hold their kitten form for 6 seconds. It is now Nori's turn. As expected, she becomes a kitten with dragon wings. The evaluators are disappointed. After evaluating students, we ask them to see their test results. Reina joins the Flare Honors class, while Nori gets UDM, meaning Magic in Reverse. Sage students will train in the building and receive a uniform. However, the students in the UDM must come to terms with the fact that they will be learning inside an underground bunker. It is subsequently revealed that every student who failed the test is sent to the UDM class, Nori included. She refuses to accept reality, believing she did great on the test. Instead of practicing magic, they will study school subjects like math with Scriff to stay productive until their magic fades. Madame Nightslinger arrives, telling the UDM they are unteachable and a threat to the universe. A grave threat to all of humanity because UDM are prone to shadow magic, which will surely lead to chaos and destruction. Thus, they must let their magic die and live like a normal human being. Meanwhile, Reina attends her very first training session where the professor announces that the 2 top students from every talent will be selected to represent the school during the Sage match. The winner of the match will get to perform at the upcoming annual Vendettas Day. To sharpen her Fire Master skill, Reina is asked to make popcorn without using fire. She gets distracted and the popcorn is overcooked, which disappoints the teacher. A girl named Chandra is secretly watching Reina. The following day, Nori is extremely excited because she thinks they will practice controlling a flying broom, but it is just a normal broom and they are ordered to sweep up the trash. Nori stumbles upon the Fluxers who are taking notes on what the teacher says and begins to secretly follow the class. She intervenes and attempts to prove herself to the others. As predicted, she transforms. Something strange instead. Scriff warns him not to do it again. At lunch, Reina does not interact with the others while Nori gets closer to her new friends. Reina gets very excited seeing his best friend, However, as she walks toward her, a teacher appears and stops her, telling her that they are not allowed to interact with the UDM. Still not giving up, Nori tells her friends that she intends to enter the CIJ match to show everyone that the UDM are still worthy of interest. The following day, all the students, including the UDM, continue to train and improve their power levels. At one point, the teacher is satisfied with one student's popcorn while Rina is still struggling to make perfect popcorn. She manages to avoid burning them, but the teacher is not at all impressed by the taste. Overwhelmed, Reina meets Chandra, who offers to help her unlock her potential. She catches up to Nori, pretending she is fine. At the library, Reina finds a mysterious black book. Since then, the book keeps following her. That night, Nori prepares herself for the upcoming Sages match, but her friends are quite pessimistic, as they cannot stop turning into other animals. Meanwhile, Reina opens the book, and shadow magic begins to possess her body. During the Sages match, she becomes extremely gifted. With his Fire Master skill, he wins the match against his rival. This means he performs at Founders Day. Suddenly, Nori appears and tries to prove herself to the evaluators. Unfortunately, she fails again. She turns into a huge, terrifying creature, and Reina throws a powerful fireball, attacking her best friend. She apologizes because she does not understand why she is becoming powerful. Madame Nightslinger becomes furious and threatens to fire the UDM. His friends are very disappointed in Nori, thinking nothing can change their fate. Scriff finally admits he feels bad seeing the UDM dream shattered all this time and realizes he must do something about it. He tells the UDM they must focus on what they can do instead of following Academy standards. He also reveals he is actually a UDM. He is truly unique, managing to make the animals obey him, but only when he sings. Following that, he decides to train them to master their unique magical power. Later that night, Reina is shocked when she finds Chandra waiting for her in her room. Chandra takes the mysterious book, but it magically returns to her desk. The following day, the UDM start their training in the woods. The primary objective is to focus on gaining control over their own bodies. A few moments later, Andres is challenged to fly without relying on his counterweight bag. At first, he refuses to do so because he does not know how high he will fly. Scriff convinces him and he understands his power's limit. Meanwhile, Paloma gains confidence in hers. Elliot is ordered to release smoke to get rid of a beehive, but he fails. Scriff must then use his singing power to control the swarm of bees. On the other hand, Nori is told to create as many mixed animal statues as she can to sharpen her power. They train hard every day, day and night, and finally manage to master their magic. Chandra continues to haunt Rina. Rina also realizes that Chandra is invisible to the other students, which means only she can see her. That night, Rina is manipulated, and the shadow magic takes full control of her body. It turns out that the theory is wrong. Shadow magic can possess anyone, not just UDM. Nori approaches Rina and discovers that the evil that she is going to destroy everyone. Nori returns to her friends and develops a strategy to stop Reina. It is the big day of the annual Founders Day where Reina is chosen to showcase her Fire Master talent in front of everyone. She intentionally throws a huge fireball and reveals shadow magic to the public. She transforms into a huge, terrifying creature. The students try to stop her, but it does not work because their magical powers are too common and too weak, especially the Fluxes who transform into useless animals. A few moments later, the UDM arrive. By using her pushing power, she prevents the evil spirit from splitting, while Elliot uses his smoke power and Andres his flight power to distract it. Finally, Nori transforms into a cat dragon to twist the creature's body. It ends up falling awake. Madame Nightslinger orders the students to finish the creature. Nori stops them because Reina is her best friend. She encourages her best friend, and Reina manages to destroy the evil spirit inside her. Afterward, the headmaster decides to delete the UDM program, and students with unique magical powers are allowed to join the school, including Scriff. At the end of the film, the mysterious book falls from the shelf and opens to a specific page indicating that shadow magic is still there. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help us out. Thank you all.